Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show live in the On Purpose Woman Global Community Facebook group. I'm Ginny Robertson, one of the hosts of the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show. I'm also the founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community and the founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman online magazine. Today, I'm excited to be here with Maria Guadalupe Lopez, who is, when asked to describe herself, she says that she is a piece of the puzzle, an entrepreneur, a dream creator, and a shining light. So thank you for being here, Maria. I'm excited to be talking with you about a belief you have that without all of the colors of the rainbow, there is no rainbow. So welcome.
Thank you, Ginny. It's an honor to be here. I'm very, very happy to be here with everybody.
I'm happy to have you here with me. And I will attest, I can certainly attest to this idea that you are a shining light. I think your light was actually going to come through. Oops, I just covered up my camera. Sorry. It's going to come through on this interview beautifully today. So for those of you who don't know Maria, haven't had the pleasure of meeting her, I've known Maria for a few years now. Let me tell you a little bit about her. Maria was born and raised in Mexico City and now lives in Baltimore County, Maryland. She is a Spanish teacher with 18 years of experience and a spiritual person who is now a businesswoman. She is part of a family business and also has her own business. Her dream is to help people learn that even though we might speak different languages, have different customs, likes, and dislikes, we are all the same and belong to the same race, the human race. I love that, Maria, and that's why I'm excited about our conversation today. So you say that without all the colors in the rainbow, there is no rainbow. So please share what you mean by that.
Well, first of all, let me tell you that the rainbow has been an image that I have adored from my whole life since I was a kid. I used to color it. I think it's just so beautiful. And it is a perfect example to show people that we are all needed. We all have something to do to make everything perfect. So I think that we come in all different colors, in all different races, with all different customs, because of a reason, not to make us different, but to put our little token to this wonderful world that we have. So that's what I mean. Okay. All of us are needed.
Yes. And without that one little piece, and you say you're a piece of the puzzle, and that also ties into this, doesn't it? That if that piece that is you was missing, the puzzle wouldn't be complete, right?
It wouldn't. Just like it is missing the piece if you are not given all the abilities and all the gifts that you are given. Mm-hmm. We are all needed.
Yes. Oh, I so agree with that. And I've heard you say that labels hurt everyone, the ones that are being labeled as well as those who are labeling. So let's talk about the things that do separate us then. If we're all part of the human race, we still have great separation sometimes. So have you, as a Mexican American woman, ever experienced being labeled or having people make assumptions about your country or who you are?
Yes, of course I have, unfortunately, and I don't think I'm the only one. And it is a shame. I think it is easier to put a label and try to categorize people by a label that we think they belong to, instead of trying to take the time to learn about these people and get to know them. I have been labeled many, many times. My English is so much better now after having so many beautiful people in my life that speak Spanish, after working in schools, speaking English all the time. But when I started working, my English was very broken, even though I had already a degree to teach English as a second language. People most of the time will not take the time to get to know me. They will just hear my accent and they will think it wasn't worth it to get to know the person because maybe I was ignorant, maybe I was less, maybe I was whatever. It is a shame. It is a shame because we, as we were saying, we all have something good for everybody. Mm-hmm. Also, people that speak Spanish, we already get a label right away. People believe that all people that speak Spanish is Mexican, at least in this side of the world, and it is not mm-hmm. true. There are actually 21 countries in the world that speak Spanish. And all of us have our own identity, our own cultural customs. So it's not good for anybody to put a label to anybody.
And you said it's easier to do that sometimes. It's a very lazy way of communicating, isn't it? It's just, I'll just say it's lazy. It's easier, but it's lazy. It's easier for me, I'd say me, as the collective me, to decide who you might be than to take the time and the energy or the discomfort. I think sometimes people are just uncomfortable. They don't know, are you going to understand them? Are you going to like them? I mean, there's just all kinds of stories we make up.
Yes, and I unfortunately think that it is also coming from ignorance. People don't want to take the time to learn from others, and they think they know it all. Mm-hmm. People think that because they were born in a specific country, they are worth it or they deserve whatever. And we were born in a country just for whatever, for an accident, because we chose, I don't know. But we don't make any, God didn't make any difference for people to be living in different countries. We just have different customs, mm-hmm. different ways of doing life, but we are all the same, yes. All the same.
And I've, over the years, I've heard people both around me, and also you'll see, people ranting about this in different places, that if you live in this country, you should speak English all the time. And first, you have to learn English if you don't know it when you come here. But I've often, I think I've heard from others that, when you also get into insulated communities sometimes, where it's actually more comfortable to assimilate if you've got those people around you that speak your language. And so I think it's a judgment that people make without enough information to make that judgment. But what's underneath all that? There's some kind of fear underneath all that, isn't it?
I think it is. And it is funny. I come from Mexico City. Mexico City is one of the biggest cities in the world. I can tell you that I was taking English classes since I was in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. And I pretend to sing the Beatles songs since I was a teenager. So in my city, we were exposed to English more than you guys are exposed to Spanish.
Oh, I'm sure.
So even though we don't speak the language, we have little bit more knowledge and understanding of the language that you do have in Spanish. So in Mexico City, most of the people that want to have a career or a job, we must learn English. So it's not like learning English is a foreign thing for us. Most of us do. And even people who come to this country and they have to work and there is no other way, they learn the language. So it is not that we don't want to do it or anything. But if we were in Europe, we will not be speaking one language. We will be speaking maybe 5, 6 different languages. Mm-hmm. So the fact that we are in the United States shouldn't be just forcing us. I think every country, every person should be very proud of the roots and everything that make that country. So we should case all our customs and our traditions. But yes, if you are living in another place, well, you have to get to do whatever else everybody does. So be bilingual, be trilingual. The more you know, the better.
And you actually end up looking a lot smarter than most of us who only speak English. Because I did take 2 years of Spanish in high school, and I left after that knowing a few things, but I never really used it, never had an opportunity to use it. And so I know maybe 4 words still, but it's something that I've often thought about, it'd be kind of nice to, since, Spanish is our second language here, that it would be probably nice to do that. And I don't know that I've got it in me at this age to learn a language. It's really hard, isn't it? It's really challenging to learn.
I can tell you that as a teacher that learning a language is a matter of practice. Yeah. As I was telling you before, when I started working, my English was really broken. My students and I remember we used to laugh at each other because we couldn't understand what we were trying to say. But they helped me, they taught me, I taught them. So it was really good. Mm-hmm. But it's been because I've been speaking the language that I have learned it. You see, when I came here, I have taken so many different classes and I got degrees, but I wasn't practicing. I didn't have a good pronunciation because I never took it or spoke it. And now it's different. Maybe I still have my accent, but I can have a conversation with whoever. I can watch a movie. I can read a book. So you get better with practice. So it's never too late, Ginny. Never too late.
Okay. Under advisement. Who knows? I'm white. So,
Yes.
let's talk a little bit about this connection that you think there is between either holding on to the labels that people give us, or for the one doing the labeling that can actually get in the way of our healing. Can you talk some more about that?
Yes. I just think that you are not just hurting the people that gets the label, because you are not giving them the opportunity to be full who they are and get to know them, but you are also holding yourself to get these people, to get to know them. I can say, like, for example, in your group, I have met some beautiful women, so wonderful women that are ready to come out of the shells and do wonders for the world, try to heal the world. But if they have put a tag on me, if they have said she's a Hispanic and there is nothing to get out of her, then I wouldn't have any friendships. I do have friendships that are from 30 years ago, 40 years ago, because I am a good person. But if you don't give the people the chance, how are you going to get to know and how are you going to learn from others? So it's not just hurting them, it's hurting yourself at the same time. And there is no way that you can be a better person and a good person if you are trying to put somebody down, because we are all equal. No matter what degrees you have, no matter where you were born, no matter how many languages you speak, we are all equal.
Yeah, that's such a beautiful way to put it. There's just no way that you can be a good person if over here you are feeling superior, if you are angry about someone being in your country, if you will. I mean, all of that, it just eats at people from the inside out, and you can see the anger. But what about people who
Yes.
are labeled? What does that do to them? And what do they need to do to try to let go of that or heal from that? What did you do?
Well, I at this point, I can tell you one of my lessons from last year was that nothing that you want, nothing that you wish, nothing that you need comes from anybody else but from you. Everything has to come from yourself. That's the only way that you can get it, the real way, the really way that you deserve it. So you shouldn't listen to what nobody says about you. You have to shine your light.
Mhm.
That is the only way to be free, to be yourself and to empower yourself.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter what you do. You just have to be yourself and you have to shine.
And I love that. And the really great news about that is we have total control of that. Don't we?
Yes.
We get to
Yes.
decide, you know. I love that. I heard a quote one time that says, "No one but me gets to decide who I am." And so we get to
That is
decide,
true.
you know, who am I and what do I want to show to the world? And, you know, I used to work for a seminar company many years ago, and we would do this module and we would call it Circles Most Congruent. And this would be one circle, and that circle is who I am, who I really am deep inside. And this other circle is what I'm showing to the world. And the idea is that to the extent that they're like disconnected, we will have less and less joy in our lives. And that you at least want them to be touching, but you really want them to overlap and to work towards that. Wouldn't it be great if they were like this? I think some of us can get to that sometimes, but it's, you know, it's a challenging thing to do all the time. But if we're being that person in that we are inside, if that's what we're showing to the world all the time, there's pure joy in that. Would you agree with that?
I totally do. I totally do. And you're making me think of how important it is to get your own value, because we are all needed. We are all pieces to this puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And unless you decide to shine and to get everything you have been given to the world, then it's not going to heal. I was listening during the pandemic, all these people saying, I'm a healer, I do this, I do that. We are all healers to the world, and we all have to do our part. But if you don't own yourself, then you cannot help. And
Yeah.
we need you.
Yes, we do. And we are all healers at the very, I mean, we when we shine our light into the world, we have no idea what kind of impact it's going to have on someone else. we have no idea what that one little connection that we made can do for us or for someone else.
That's correct. That's correct. That's why I love these videos, because you don't have an idea who's going to be listening. I always think that the people that need to listen are the ones who will do.
Mhm.
So I always say a prayer and ask for the message to go to whoever needs to be hearing this. But it's beautiful, and we all have something to apport.
We do. We do. Well, when you came to the, what brought you here? I don't think I know that. Did something specific?
I got married.
Okay.
I
didn't
got
get that.
married. I was working in Mexico already as a teacher. It was my first year. I was teaching first grade. It was beautiful.
Mm.
But then I met my husband, and he was living here in Baltimore. So we married, and I came here.
So you came to be with him, and he had been here for a while, I guess. And
yes,
so it was maybe
yes.
a bit easier because he had already mapped everything out, kind of knew the lay of the land, could kind of maybe ease that for you than if you'd come with your family and you really didn't know anyone, or, you know.
No. It was very easy. I mean, we did every kind of job from the beginning. I mean, we have been finding our way to do this life from the beginning, from the bottom. But it was easier for me. He already had a job. He already had a house. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't for us like totally out of nowhere and out of nothing. Yeah. We decided to get married because there was a possibility for us to already be here. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Well, when you first got here, even though, you know, you had a husband and you had a home and you probably met people through him at first, and so it was a bit easier than it might have been for someone just immigrating alone or with their insular family. How did you feel though? Did you, I guess the question I'm asking is, how did you get from this new immigrant into the country to this place of such love and acceptance and joy and peace in your life? I mean, it's been 18 years about, or how long has it been now?
I've been here 27 years.
Oh, you've been here longer than you've been teaching. Okay, yeah. Okay, the Spanish.
Yes, actually this January 4th, it was my 27th anniversary of being here, being married, and then being here.
That's a question
I think I think it is because I am an outgoing person and I always try to network in a way. Mm-hmm. I get to go to the right place. There was a place downtown. I used to live downtown in Baltimore. It was called Hispanic Apostolate. And they used to help, well, it changed names. It still is working now. It has another name, Esperanza Center. But they used to help immigrants to get to know their whereabouts to this new country. Mm-hmm. They will help them with food, with housing, with different medical support and things. And I found out about them, I think through Mass or something. And I started volunteering. Oh. And I started meeting people. And actually one of the persons that I met there hooked me to my job, the new job that I had to become a teacher. After this happened after so many other different jobs that I did, because I have done everything. I have babysit, I have been in a kitchen, I wash dishes, I did everything, because that's the way that you have to do it. That's the way that you have to come out. I have done it. And then after that, I was able to get this job, but I wasn't even looking for it. It was because of connections, Ginny, because you have to understand that we are all together. We are a net. If you isolate yourself from the world, then you cannot be part of the world. So I start finding the right people. And yes, you find people that are good and people that are not as good, but then you can select and you can decide who you want to stay with. And actually, one of my best friends is a woman that I met at that time, 27 years ago. So I think it's a matter of fate and a matter of you doing something to try to find the best outcome for you.
And I'm a big believer in anytime we start to feel like maybe less than prosperous or start to feel like we need something more, go help somebody else. And so by you stepping out and volunteering, you were helping these people who you saw as people like you coming here. You had some empathy for them because you understand what they might be going through. Some of them probably in a very different way than what you experienced when you came. But by stepping outside of yourself and doing that and seeing their humanity and seeing how you could support them, something flipped around and somebody helped you with a job prospect. And isn't that the way it works? If we're just open enough to see it, right?
I think that's the way. That's exactly the way. I think that's the golden key to progress, to do something for others.
Mm-hmm.
And without you noticing, it will come back to you.
Yeah, I'm so believe in that. So when I read your bio earlier, I mentioned that you had a family business and a business that you created. Now you're sitting in this beautiful business that you created. So tell us a little bit about the family business, and then I want to hear more about where you are right now.
Okay. Well, let me tell you about the family business. When we were here, my husband and I, by ourselves, because there was no other family, we tried to go to all the Mexican restaurants that we could to try to feel home. And every place we will go, we will say, this is not Mexican food, this is horrible. Wow. How is people eating this, and how is people being cheated by them believing that this is Mexican food? They are getting the wrong idea. And we will joke and say things that no wonder why they don't like us if they are eating this junk. So every time we will gather with friends, we would like to cook our food, and joking, we will say one day we will have a restaurant and we will show Baltimore what Mexican food is really about, and we will let them understand a lot of things about our culture. Maybe they don't like us because they don't know us. So let's give them the opportunity. And we always joke about that. And one day, when no money in the bank, in the worst economic situation that we have ever been, my husband found a little place. He went to ask for it if it was for rent. And yes, they rented us. And he said, we have a business, let's start doing it. And I was like, what? And then my tailboat came out of the house, and my dishes and my everything came out. And we put a restaurant, a very small restaurant, but we did it with our heart. We work day and night. We both had 2 jobs at that time. We were the only ones working on it, and it has grown. It has grown, and now the blessing is just amazing, because I think we have very successfully introduced Mexican culture to Baltimore. There are so many other different Mexican restaurants, and I have never been into them after we have ours, but I can tell you that the success of our restaurant is because we are real, because we cook like if you were in our home and you were our guest. So we don't try to get into the cheaper ingredients and the faster cooking or the frozen items. Everything is fresh. If you come in the morning, you will hear the pressure cooker cooking the meats, and it come every day they are cooking, and they are preparing very fresh and real food. So the restaurant is a dream that came true, and that's why I say I'm a person that can achieve the dreams. My husband and I work really, really hard, but that goal has been done. Mm-hmm. And then after that, when we start having the opportunity to travel, I start seeing in all these states in Mexico the beautiful crafts that they sell. And my dream was to share it as well. So I created Apapacho, which is my business.
And what does that mean?
Apapacho means a hug to your soul. It is a word in Nahuatl. Nahuatl is the language of the Aztecs. The Aztecs were the people that were living in Mexico City, and we're from Mexico City, so it's our ancestors. And it's funny, people might not know, but in Mexico, we still use a lot of words in Nahuatl. Apapacho is one of them, and it is a word that we use all the time to say that we want to give you something that really feels like I can give you my heart into a hug. So that's what apapacho means. I wanted to hug people with my culture. I wanted to hug the people that cannot go back to Mexico for whatever reason, but give them a little piece of our Mexico. I have merchandise here of 13 different states. In Mexico, we have 32 states, and I have merchandise from 13.
Wow.
And I try to buy things that are very traditional. So when Mexican people come here, they are like, oh my goodness, look at this. It's like my grandma's kitchen, or I used to eat this, or this is the toy I used to play with. And then when people from another countries come, they are amazed. And it's really funny because we have so much in common. Countries don't know how similar they are between each other. Like Latin American countries, well, of course they know a lot of Mexico, their tradition, their shows, their songs. So like there is a very popular shows for kids that is called El Chavo. Everybody in Latin America knows about it. So I have merchandise from El Chavo, and they're like, oh, look at this from El Chavo. So I have a little piece of things for everywhere, from everyone, for you to get to know the culture, or for you to come and just bring your memories back.
So really two big things you're doing there. You're giving people a slice of home and great connection to their memories, and you're giving other people not just an opportunity to look at items that were made in Mexico, but to have a conversation with you and to have them get to know you. You know, all this is one person at a time, isn't it?
It is. And the teacher is still on me. So every time somebody comes and asks me about who is Frida Kahlo, or where do you get these dolls from, or whatever, oh, please give me the opportunity to tell you, because you will be amazed. You will be amazed of how they made these, or where this craft come from, or what about the town. I mean, I love it. I just love it. I have such a beautiful and rewarding time with my clients. Every time I go home, it's like, wow, it's so worth it. It is so worth it.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're an ambassador, an unofficial ambassador.
I think so.
Yeah. An ambassador.
I used to say that. You just remind me. I used to say I was an ambassador of Mexico a long time ago. But yes, you have to embrace who you are. You have to be proud of it. Because if you are not, then you are lost.
Yeah. And your pride helps other people who may not be feeling pride. Your pride helps them see, oh, it's okay. And your pride also helps you to stand up and be seen by people who may want to diminish you, right?
Oh, yes.
So it
is not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm very comfortable with you, because I don't just respect you, but I like you a lot. And I feel comfortable, but it's not easy. Not everybody wants to be nice, you know. Yeah. And coming out with your light is not always an easy task, but we all have it. And if you don't shine it, then you cannot be fulfilled. Yeah. There is no other way.
There's this song, there's a song, but I'm sure it's another saying that says, you know, hurt people. And so to the extent that, you know, we're still walking around wounded ourselves, we can do all kinds of damage to other people. And so it's just such a job that it's our responsibility to take care of ourselves and to bring ourselves into a healing place so that we can be that light to the world. We can be that gift to everyone else. Otherwise, we would miss out on so much. Just like that's how we started this conversation, you know. We would all the parts of the rainbow, every color in the rainbow is gorgeous.
It is.
Yeah.
I think what you were saying is just so important. Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
Yes. We all have to do our part. I was just thinking that sometimes we tend to blame others for things that happen to us, for things that happen in our countries, for things that happen in our home, in our house, in our work. But the only person responsible is us. And if we don't take the responsibility of our own person, how can we put the the responsibility of our happiness or health or anything else in somebody else? We have to be responsible. That's the only way to grow up, to become a person, and to be the part of the piece, the puzzle, the color of the rainbow that is needed. We all need to take responsibility.
Absolutely, that's beautiful. And I just want to add here that I've been to the restaurant a few times, and the first time I went, I know I was, because I'd never tasted food like that. And I've been to what I thought were some really good Mexican restaurants. I mean, I'm not talking about fast food restaurants, that's not even Mexican food. That's not even food usually, right? But it's the spices, it's the way you cook things. It's just, and I think it's the love and the care that goes into it. But it is an opportunity to experience a different type of food, which may be very, very easy to get in Mexico City, but I don't think many people here have experienced it. And I also want to mention that in non-COVID times, you were the host of a meeting for the On Purpose Woman Global Community right there in your beautiful store. So if you're watching and you're in the Baltimore area, one day you'll be able to go to Maria's shop for a meeting. And you're open now though, right?
I am open, yes.
Okay.
I am open.
As long as they got a mask on, they can come in and shop, correct? Okay.
Of course, yes, you need to have a mask.
Tell everybody where you are. Give the address.
Well, we are located in Rosedale, Maryland, Baltimore County, and my address is 8434 Philadelphia Road. And the restaurant is right next door.
Yeah. In fact, you can go to the restaurant. You can go to the restaurant, walk through the little opening right into the shop, right?
Yes, you can get.
Oh, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say that you can get the two things once you come here. You can go to the restaurant and you can go to the store, or vice versa.
And you're just a couple of miles inside the Beltway, right? It's
yes, if you take the Beltway, we are exit 34 going to Essex. No, let me think. Rosedale, and you have to go to the right, going towards the city. It's really, really easy to come here.
And what is?
And I think it's worth it.
Oh, I do too. What is the
name of the restaurant? Is Fiesta Mexicana.
Fiesta Mexicana. There you go.
Fiesta Mexicana.
Okay, well, and you've got a website. I mean, not a website, but a Facebook page. Or what is that called? Where people can go and see some of your things, right?
Yes, it is called Apapacho. A-P-A-P. Let me think. A-P-A-P-A-C-H-O. Apapacho.
So, Maria, thank you so much for being with me today. Is there anything else that you want to add to what we talked about that that I forgot to ask, or that you just like to leave with?
Well, I would like to tell everybody to help heal the world by being nice, by taking responsibility of your own person, and understanding that we are all worth exactly the same and needed the same.
Thank you. Thank you.
Really thank you, Ginny. A pleasure and an honor. Thank you, Ginny. Always a pleasure.
You're welcome. So I want to thank all of you who are watching either us live in the On Purpose Woman Global Community Group or on our YouTube replay. This is the Real Women Real Purpose Talk Show. Did I do that again? Oh,
yes.
Wow. Okay. I don't like to look down. I wanted to read my ending here, and I don't like to look down. I thought, well, let me just put it there, and it looks like I'm looking in the camera. Thank you. So you've been listening to the Real Women Real Purpose Talk Show live in the On Purpose Woman Global Community Facebook group. For a list of our topics, you can go to the On Purpose Woman magazine, onpurposewomanmagazine.com, and check out the current issue. And if you love this interview and you want to share it with your friends, you'll find it on our YouTube channel over the next 2 days. So go over to On Purpose Woman Global Community on YouTube, and please, while you're there, subscribe and you'll get the notifications. We've got over 30 really wonderful interviews with amazing women who have done some interesting things and share their life story with you. And on January 26th, next week, I'm interviewing Roslyn Stewart at the Wise and Well Center in Baltimore, and we'll be talking about pivoting into new possibilities. So thank you again for watching, and have a great week, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.